A certain episode aired that changed the way we watch anime. It changed the way studios created anime, changed the way people thought about anime and how their children watched, and changed the anime industry forever. Yacht, Anshin, Yuchu, Ryoko, episode 25 aired, which made 4 children who watched it were taken to the hospital by ambulance. The highly anticipated next episode of the most popular franchise just started airing, episode 38 of Pocket Monsters. This time slot was watched by approximately 4.6 million households. But what many viewers and parents wouldn't know that 20 minutes into the episode, the whole view of the anime and the industry will change. This part of the history affects us all who are fans of the anime community, and I'm sure many of you know what I'm about to talk about, but I thought I would do a quick Annie history about this infamous episode. 20 minutes into the episode there were bright red and blue flashes, and if you did see it for yourself, I think you would agree on what were they thinking. There were many flashes during the episode, but at that point the flashes weren't so intense. The red and blue would rapidly alternate 24 times per second, which lasted for a good 6 seconds. That was enough to cause 700 children to have seizure-like symptoms. Soon after it was reported that the children were taken to the hospital by ambulance, even though most were recovered straight away, but still, more than 150 were admitted to hospital. 2 remained in the hospital for more than 2 weeks.
I'm not going to go into how this scene could and why and should it have caused seizures, even though only a small fraction from the 700 people were diagnosed with photosensitive epilepsy, because the facts are that it did, and that it caused the media to report on this and the worrisome parents to ask questions on how could this have happened and how can we make sure it never happens again.
The following day, TV Tokyo issued an apology and suspended Pokémon and would investigate on what caused this. Most retailers would take anything Pokémon related off the shelves after the incident. They treated the episode like an illusion that it never happened, which might sound crazy for us here in the West, but that's how Japan tends to act if something goes wrong. It is a strict country after all.
After a long 4-month hiatus, Pokémon came back, and there was a shake to the anime industry after what happened. All previous episodes were edited to fit the new guidelines placed by the National Association of Broadcasters in Japan. Not only Pokémon episodes were affected, but many other anime classics were edited for reruns. It's odd to think that all of this could have been prevented if NHK reacted to what had happened with YAT Anshin Uchu Ryoko, which caused similar symptoms to 4 children. But, well, that's the answer right there. It was only 4. As soon as it involved 100 children, people took notice. It's also interesting to point out that the star of the particular episode, Porygon, has never returned to the Pokemon anime since then. You could say that it's because they've already done a Porygon episode and they have no real reason to remake it. However, not only has Porygon never been featured, but Porygon's evolutions, Porygon 2 and Porygon Z, did not end up appearing in the Johto and Sinnoh arcs respectively. Since Electric Soldier Porygon, the entire Porygon evolution line has been completely banned from the Pokemon anime. They are the only Pokemon to not play a major role in an episode or film.
You may be wondering, what does this old history got to do with anime in the present? With these new guidelines, studios now would have to rethink on how they would produce their series, and most networks display warning messages at the beginning of a broadcast. The episode has never re-aired, nor edited, and it is totally banned. It never existed. To try and forget this ever happened, but there were lessons learned from this chaos. It's interesting to see not long ago what could be produced without knowing the consequences, on what could happen to the viewers, us the fans who would watch our favourite anime and not knowing it could harm us. But from now on, we are assured with what has happened and learning from the Pokémon Shokku, we are all now in a better situation and safe on watching anime and other programming. I think this was an interesting topic to read upon, as there isn't much out there to watch on this topic. It's very hard to find anything. It seems no one recorded any media footage from when this happened. It's literally like this never happened. Only a few good blog posts which covers the story of the night that it happened exist online, with hot garbage during the week. And I wouldn't be surprised if newer anime fans had no idea about this small history that happened in the anime community.